welcome back to my channel. My name is Amaya, but you can call me Mai. I rep Brooklyn all day. That's not what this video is about, and that's not what you're here for. You're here because you would like some advice on how to maintain healthy hair that's color treated. And as you can see, my hair is color treated. So you came to the right place. Before we get into all of this, make sure that you are subscribed. Leave a like. It helps me to continue making some bomb content for you. Make sure you turn on post notifications so you know every time I post. And yeah, basically I'm just trying to build an empire, so help your girl out. So let's get straight into this. So to start off, I'm gonna give you a little bit of contextualization because none of the advice that I'm giving you is gonna make sense if you don't know what qualifications I have to give you these tips. I do have a PhD that I acquired from YouTube University, so I think I know what I'm talking about. Been dyeing my hair since I was 13 or 14, and I'm turning 19 this year, so that would be... This is why I dropped all my math classes. I will insert some pictures so you can just see the journey that my hair has been on. I've done a few colors. It's just fun seeing how you look with different hair colors. You can't sit here and tell me that's not fun. You're weird. I've been doing it for like over 5 years and I'm not bald yet. So I guess that's evidence enough. We're gonna get straight into this. So my first tip for you is to color your hair in an environment that you're comfortable in. I know that sounds stupid. Like, why is that the first thing you tell me when I'm trying to maintain my hair health? What does this have to do with anything? But hear me out. Some people prefer actually going to professionals to get their hair done, which is what I will always recommend, because at the end of the day, somebody who actually went to school and got a qualification to color your hair will know way more than me, or you will, unless you also got those qualifications. So I will always recommend that you go to a professional because they know best. However, if you're like me and you don't care and you don't feel like spending your money on going to a stylist, then by all means try it at home yourself. What I'm trying to say is make sure that you're doing correct steps, going through the correct procedure before you dye your hair, or like I said, just go to a professional. So that's what I mean by make sure that you're doing it in the right environment. My second tip would be to make sure that your hair is healthy beforehand. If you're starting on damaged hair and then you color your hair and it gets even more damaged, I'm not sure you can blame that damage on the hair color. Like, let's really think about this.
If 2 + 2 is 4, right? And 5 + 5 is 10, okay. What the fuck is this?
So always start on healthy hair. I would say it's always best to start when your hair is in the state that you know it could take a few punches, because the hair color, any chemical composition that you put onto your hair it's altering your hair in some way, especially when it comes to color. So if your hair is already in a deflated state and it's not in its strongest state, you can't expect it to know how to square up and survive by the end of the fight. You gotta teach it how to dodge the punches, all of that. You gotta teach it how to do all of that if you want it to come out of the coloring process healthy and, beautiful. All of these tips are very straightforward, which is why I was hesitant to make this video, but I thought, why not make it? Because why not just put everything that I know into one place instead of giving everybody different answers, Moving on to my third tip, I think. Make sure that you're using a color safe product. Now I'm saying that, but do I really practice what I preach? Not really. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I do not be checking the product that I buy or the product that I receive if it's color safe, because I really don't care. Hi, editing. So it's more like I don't check for it, but if it is color safe, I'm like, oh, that's nice, thanks. I appreciate it. But if you want to maintain your color's brightness and you want to maintain your color, that is a step that you should definitely take and not be like me. As I said in my other hair dyeing video that I posted of like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I usually color my hair in anticipation of it fading because I like when it fades into different colors. So I don't mind using products that aren't necessarily color safe. If that's not your type of party, look and make sure that your products are color safe. 1, they won't make your color fade, and 2, they're just more fit to moisturize and give your hair that extra TLC that it needs, because after you color your hair just needs 2 times more of what it was getting before, you feel me? My fourth tip, this one is very important. Protein treatments. And I'm not talking about your eggs and your mother's avocados that she brought yesterday that you're wasting to use on your hair. I'm not talking about your mayonnaise in your fridge, although if you do use those things and they work for you, more power to you. If you want the real thing, you gotta use the real thing. And the real thing you can't use every other week. because it's strong. So what I recommend, what I use personally, you can spend like $100 at a beauty salon to get your professional protein treatment, which is always the smartest thing to do because, as I said before, licensed cosmetologists or whatever they call licensed hairstylists, they know what they're doing, you know what I mean? Or you can spend like $20 and get your hands on some ApHogee. I have a video on that actually. I will link it up above so you can go watch that after this video. Protein treatments are so important when you have color treated hair. I never thought they were important before, but after I used it that one time, I was like, I see why they're important, you feel me? So you want to make that a regular part of your routine. The bottle says like every 3 months, so I try to do it twice a year. Twice or 3 times a year. I haven't done it in over 6 months now. I can definitely redo it and reshoot it for you guys if that's something you would like to see. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the comments below, if you would like to see updated video on how I do my protein treatments. Because the other video was more of an ASMR, so I wasn't talking much. But if you guys would like to see another video of me doing a protein treatment and showing you the ins and the outs, what I know, how it helps, I can do that for you. The protein treatments that use actual food, I'm just joking around because I used to do those when I was 14, but that was before I knew more, and the molecules in those usually too big to actually penetrate your hair shaft, so they might work, yes. However, if you're looking for a more intensive protein treatment as you would need for color treated hair because you want to rebuild the bonds that have been broken down by that coloring and by the fact that your hair is now weaker, you should definitely get a professional protein treatment, or like I said, the cheaper alternative that works just as well in my opinion is the ApHogee 2-step protein treatment. So definitely look into that at your nearest beauty supply store and tell them I sent you. They will not know who I am, but it's a nice gesture. So feeding off of what I said before in regards to treatments, my next tip would be, ooh, my voice. My next tip would be to do hot oil treatments more frequently and deep condition more frequently. I would say like a couple years ago or even a year ago, I did not take deep conditioning that seriously. I didn't think it was a big deal. I thought that people just put that extra step in their wash day and they were not dumb, but like thought I was getting one up. I'm like, these people are mad dumb. You don't need to deep condition. Growth. Deep conditioning is so important, and I will definitely be making another video on my favorite deep conditioners, how to find the right deep conditioner for you. So please, like I said before, subscribe to my channel and turn on my post notifications so you know when that video is up. Hot oil treatments are also important. You can honestly use any oil that you would like, but one that I like to use, for example, is this Corey hot oil treatment from Udovic Beauty. All you do, whatever oil you use, you just warm it up and you put it on your hair like a pre-poo treatment before you wash, and it just be slowly seducing your hair strands. I don't know how to explain it. You go a little something, you know? So just add those to your routine and you will definitely see a difference. Like my hair, I don't think my hair has ever been this healthy since I've been taking care of it, because I'm taking things more seriously, being more gentle with my hair, and those are all things you need to do whether your hair is color treated or not. But when your hair is color treated, it is especially fragile and you need to do those things. You need to clock yourself and make sure that you're doing those things. Yeah, so my next tip, it's not really a tip, but it's more of a it is a tip actually. You can't be lazy. I feel like you can get away with being a lazy natural when your hair is like virgin, it's not color treated or anything like that. Let me rephrase that. You can be lazy, but you're not going to get the results you're looking for. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. I used to classify myself as a lazy natural because I was like, as much as I had my natural hair page and I would give advice and all that, I was a lazy natural. Like I was not doing what I had to do as frequently or as consistently as I have been doing this year. So I'm actually really proud of myself, and I think that, you know, pat on the back. When you have color treated hair, you really have to clock yourself and make sure that you're not being lazy, keeping up with your deep conditioning, all of that, finding the right products for you. And I will also have a video on that, so stay tuned. That's all I have to say on being lazy. So my next tip would be using less hot water on your hair. I used to hear the naturals say you shouldn't wash your hair with hot water, but listen, I love me a hot shower, like a steaming hot, boiling hot, kettle on the stove hot shower. I used to just wash my hair with the same temperature water that I would shower in, and it was, I don't don't know. My hair does a good job of camouflaging itself because it might have looked good before, but it definitely didn't feel good. And it definitely wasn't doing good. Like, no hot water, please. All the hot water does is open your hair's cuticles and all that moisture just leave. Like, that's all it does. Ooh, it might feel good in the moment, but is it really worth it? Think about it for a second. Is it worth it? No, it's not, baby girl or baby boy. It's not worth it. Now I wash my hair with like lukewarm water. I might go in with a warmish to hottish water before I apply my deep conditioner, just to make sure that my hair shaft is open. I always do a cold rinse at the end. That's when I detangle my hair. That's when it's easiest for me to detangle my hair, when I do a cold rinse. And you get used to it, honestly. But it's the summer, so I can't say much about how it might feel in the winter, but I'll keep y'all posted. Definitely less hot water on your natural hair when it is color treated. I think this next one goes without saying, but obviously you should limit the amount of heat you use on your hair. I can't tell you how much heat you should use because everyone's hair is different. Everyone's hair can manage different amounts of manipulation, whether that's heat-based, chemical-based, or just motor-based, meaning like, you know, everyone's hair can handle different things. So you just have to know yourself and understand the risk that you're taking when you use a lot of heat. But I would say, especially when your hair is color treated, just cut it out or use very minimal heat. And limiting the amount of heat you use will really allow you to learn your hair and to learn its new needs, because when you color your hair will need new things. So just give it time, know what it can take, know what it can't take, all those things, you feel me? Gotta build a relationship before you're trying to things in that relationship, right? If you do want to color your hair, do it in stages. You can jump. Can I speak? Can I English? Damn. So you can jump from jet black to platinum blonde in a literal sense. However, you'll probably end up with string for hair. If you're trying to go light, especially if you're trying to go light, do it in stages. I have really dark hair naturally, as you can see, so I couldn't go from this straight to, I'm lying actually, because if you saw my how I dyed my hair blonde video, I did go from like, nah, I'm lying again, because it was like ashy brown, like black at the roots. I know that you want that instant gratification, that instant shot of serotonin from going from one color to another new bright color. I know you crave that feeling, but it's not worth it, especially if you want to keep it healthy. Girls, just don't do it. Another tip connected to that tip about coloring gradually is, if you want a brighter color, you're gonna have to lighten your hair. I get a lot of questions like that. They'd be like, how can I go from black to blonde like you did? I'm like, well, technically I didn't go from black to blonde. I had light brownish hair for a couple years and then I just colored over that. So lifting it to blonde wasn't a hard thing to do because it was already light. I added color on top of it. It looks light because my hair was light blonde. You know what I mean? So you can't just go from this to this. For example, I put this same color onto my roots and they're obviously not the same color because my roots are black. This was blonde before. And like, you can't just jump from a dark color to a light color. You're gonna have to lift your hair somehow. If you're not comfortable using bleach, I did upload a video a couple videos ago of how I do lighten my hair without bleach or box dye, so definitely check that out after you watch this video. My next tip would be temporary hair colors, temporary hair waxes. Those are the best options for you if you definitely are too afraid to damage your hair, but you still want that instant gratification of coloring your hair. What ties in with that is like synthetic hair or like wigs that you can color, because you still get that satisfaction. It's still flat on your head, it's still yours because you bought it, period, but it's a different color, it's a different you. So if you don't want to damage your hair, you can always try like a hair wax. I always do those. I have like 4 different colors. I think I'm gonna buy more. If you would like a temporary hair wax, you can definitely pop some at shopponyfly.com. I'll have my code right here so you can get money off. It's super cheap and you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the price. So as far as temporary hair dyes, this that I have in my hair right now is a temporary hair dye. Temporary dyes literally just deposit color onto the color that you already have. So like I said before, if you're trying to go for a lighter color, maybe you should use a permanent dye, like a box dye or an actual bleach. You have to lighten your hair, that's permanent. And then you would put a temporary dye on top of it. So you only use permanent dye once in that whole process. And you can change your color up with temporary dyes, because once this fades, once it goes back to blonde, I could try blue, green, purple, anything that I want. If you do a permanent blonde dye or a permanent auburn dye to just lighten your hair up, That would be permanent. Your hair will be permanently that color. And then you put a temporary dye, which deposits that color onto your new permanently colored hair. And then you have a new color. You feel what I'm saying? And it's less damage because you're not using another permanent dye to color your hair. So temporary is much less damaging. I don't think it's damaging at all because it's not stripping your hair of anything. It's just depositing something onto your hair, which is a color, temporarily, so it won't damage your hair much really. That was it, my top whatever tips for color treated natural hair. I hope you took a lot from this video. I hope you understood everything that I said. Let me know if this video made you feel more confident or comfortable with coloring your hair. Also, drop any comments you have below in the comment section, and anything that I didn't get to in this video, you know, I can answer those questions below. Thank you so much for watching. I be fangirling. I be the one that's fangirling when you watch my videos. Cause what? Like me? You like my video? You're an awesome person. I'm gonna leave y'all to color your hair. I just know that it's gonna look bomb because you got your advice from the one and only Curls on My. But yeah, make sure you leave a like and a comment and turn on my post notifications so you know when I post my next video. Who knows? Will it be about deep conditioners? Will it be about hair typing? I guess you'll have to see and subscribe. And My is out.